All right. What's going on, friends and family? How are you? How are you? How are you? Here when. All right. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know what you're talking about. I know we're here. We're getting ready to make it happen. We're going to talk about comping our real estate today, right? This is extremely important. Not a lot of people do it well, unfortunately. You see a lot of deals where maybe other investors are sending it to you, and you're looking at them, and the comps are almost all the time, over exaggerated, using last year's number or numbers from 6 months ago or 9 months ago now, which we'll kind of cover today. But it is extremely, extremely, extremely important that you learn how to comp these deals. If you don't know how to comp these deals, life becomes very, very difficult for you. Take it from me, my first 2.5 years was all about doing it wrong, right? So I want to make sure you're not doing it wrong. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So without further ado, I know we got people coming in. While that's going on, we're going to go ahead and just get started so that by the time everyone gets in, we can just kind of dig right into the information. You ready? Here we go. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Being a real estate investor, there's nothing to it.
Sellers are just waiting for my call. Hey.
I'm sick and tired of y'all calling me. Stop calling my phone. I'm just sick of them. Sick.
So basically, there's no competition.
All I have to do is mail these out. Boom. Here comes the money.
Real estate. Easy money.
Hey, get away from my car.
My offers are solid, and they always get accepted.
Be nice.
As real estate investors, we make our own hours.
Now all I have to do is put in these bandit signs.
If you invest in real estate, you know exactly what you just saw. It can be problematic, right? It's the same group of people going after the same group of people saying the same thing to the same group of people. I get it. I've done it all. Some of those strategies can work, but it's all about messaging and numbers. But I'm here to tell you today that there's an absolutely better way to get things done, that you can double what you're doing. If you're a full-time investor already, you should be doing 5 to 10 deals a month. If you're not, let's have a conversation. If you're just getting started, this is the best way for you to go and get started. If you don't have any money to put into marketing and you want to develop a pipeline of deals that's consistently coming through, and you don't have to have the exact same conversation over and over and over again with another new seller. All you have to do is watch this study that I've put together for you. It's a little bit of a training, and let's have a conversation afterward. I've been at this for more than 2 decades, and we've developed strategies and relationships and systems and processes that allow our business to do 15 deals, 12 deals a month per market that we're in. And I want to share this information with you. Click the link below. Let's have a conversation. Peace. Okay, I heard someone say there was no sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear me right now? I'm sorry if there was no sound. That should have come straight through for you. My apologies, my apologies, my apologies. I don't know. It looks like there was sound on my end. So just drop a comment if you can hear me. If you're having a problem hearing me, just let me know. Sound did work. Okay, yes. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Thank you for popping in. So we're going to kick this off. We're going to get going, and we're going to talk about this. So and forgive me because I don't get to see the name of the person all the time, well, most of the time when you leave a comment, but that's okay. I can't figure that part out. I'm not that super technologically savvy, but I can see that I got the comments, right? And then I'll go back to the platforms and comment back to you later. But someone here says, Jason, sir, I have been working my tail off this week. Thanks again for the personal call last week. Absolutely. That's what this is all about. I mean, if you want to get ahead, you've got to be able to reach, not only, do you need to be able to reach out and contact, the support and the help, but you need to be able to touch them. You need to be able to talk to people that can get you over the hump of everything that you need to be doing for your deals that you have now and for things that you have coming up. It's one of the most important things when it comes to learning how to invest in real estate. If you are just reading a book, if you're just watching YouTube, you're doing yourself a complete disservice, right? Yeah, you're going to find information that's going to be able to be helpful there. I mean, I put information up there that's helpful to people, but you have to be able to work out all those little nuances, right? Because it isn't always as easy as you hear it, right? So that's why today we're going to talk about how you comp your deals. And there's a few ways that you comp your deals, right? I'm going to show you a free way and I'm going to show you a paid way, and the difference between the two and how you can really kind of mess up sometimes if you're really not digging into it, right? One of the free ways that I'm going to show you how to use Zillow, and then I'm going to show you how to use Batch Leads to do your comparisons as well, because it keeps everything in the way that you need to do that. But I'm also going to share with you some things that you really got to know based on the market that we're in today. And by the way, I have to put this out there. If you have questions, I want to be able to answer those questions for you. Just shoot me a message there, or, leave a comment with your question. If it is something really serious, you want to talk about it, look, if you have my number, shoot me an email. I'll send you a link and we'll get you on here right away, and we can work through your problem right here live with everyone else. I promise you, whatever question it is you have, other people have that exact same question as well. This is all about helping people achieve their goals. So there's no dumb questions. Everybody's at different stages of their investment or investing education, I should say. So if you have a question, by all means, ask the question, and I'll get it answered for you right here, right now, live today. That's what I'm here for. And you're going to have to excuse me. Today was cleaning day in Casa de Mayo. So we've been cleaning all day, getting, just cleaning, opening up windows. It was a nice day, letting air come through, dusting, and just taking it all in. Feels good when your house is clean, when you go to bed at night, when everything is clean all at the same time. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. Now, a lot of people are pulling comps right now today, and they're giving you stuff. Jason is the man. He will help you. Thank you very much. That's a comment there. People are comping things. They're using 12-month-old comps. The market is insanely different today than it was a year ago. You cannot go back a year. I mean, interest rates are way high. Values were higher then. Values have come down. They've kind of plateaued. In some areas, they've actually come down. In some areas of the country, they've come down significantly, right? So utilizing comparables, comps from a year ago, because it looks like the house, or even 9 months ago, forget about it. What you really want to do is you want to look at things that sold, if you can find them, in the past 90 days. Then you're going to go, maybe 6 months at that point, right? If you're not finding that many. I mean, you're finding right now appraisers that are going over main streets, even highways, to get values, only to have the lender in underwriting actually shoot that comp down and make them go back and change that thing out. Because the reality of it is, that's another neighborhood when you cross the highway. That's another neighborhood when you, 9 times out of 10 anyway, when you cross over a major thoroughfare. So those comps really don't count. So stick it to a 90-day window, 6 months. I mean, if you want to get a big picture of it, yeah, you can go and say, okay, here's what it looked like then. And you can look at the solds. Here's what it looked like then. And here's what the solds are today. And you'll see a huge difference in those zip codes, right? Huge difference. You'll see the percentages standing out right there in front of you. And if they are going to, like, if you don't have a bunch of comps in the area that you're looking at, or for the house that you're looking at, and you got to go back 9 months or 12 months so that you have those comps, I'm telling you right now, take 10% off the top minimum. Some people are telling you to take 20% off, but it depends on the market that you're in. It truly depends on the market that you're in. So if you're in a market like Atlanta, for instance, you're going to, depending on where, there are some caveats, there are some exceptions to the rule, but 10%, maybe 15% is going to be it. You're going to want to be right there. That's what you take off the top. So what does that look like? That means if you saw a comp a year ago that was $300,000, I like to use round numbers in these, that house is now worth $270,000, depending where it's at. How do you know this for sure? Well, you go and you look at the sales in the past 90 days, and you'll see exactly where you're at. It'll tell you the difference. Look at things that sold for 12 months ago, and then look at things that sold in the last 90 days. That price difference is where you need to be. Lenders are looking at that. The banks are looking at that, right? So even if you're wholesaling, this is important for you to understand. Even if you are a wholesaler, okay, especially if you're a wholesaler, you want your numbers to be correct. Yes, whoever you're wholesaling it to is going to do their own numbers, but you're making deals predicated on your ability to comp this property. So when you give it to the investor, the end buyer, they need to know that you're on the money. I mean, if you're going to have a repeat buyer, they need to know that you are on point. You got your stuff together. You're giving quality information. We're doing a deal right now where the guy gave us a comp at $250,000 for the house. I know there were sales that are in the 250s, but those sales were in August. We've had, 3 rate hikes since August. All right, it was 6 months ago, but we've had 3 rate hikes since August. Okay, so I can't use that $250,000 comp. There's no way that I'm going to be able to use it. It's impossible. The lenders are going to look at it and shoot it down. 3 rate hikes? Come on now. You just can't do it. So I have to go back into there and say, okay, what is this really going to look like? Here's what it really looked like. And in that particular neighborhood, it came from, a little over 10%, about 12%. About $220 is what that property would sell for in the market today. So I had to make my offer based on that, which required this particular wholesaler who brought us the deal have to go back and renegotiate it, which I was more than willing to do, but I don't do that for free. So if you bring me a deal and I have to go back in and renegotiate it, if you had $10,000 on that deal, I'm now doing your job. You can't get all that money. It's just not going to happen. If I have to go in and renegotiate it, I'm gonna earn from that as well. It's only fair, right? If you're doing your job correctly, now I'm not talking about people that are working with me. I'm talking about when you're out there in the field and you're doing your thing. It's just not possible right now, at least for what they are asking. Okay, let's see. We've got a statement here, not quite a question, but this person says it's just not possible. Right now, at least, for what they are asking, had looked at a broker office in town to check prices. Yes, you can use brokers as well. That's part of the things. But look you better have a friend that's an agent or a broker, because if you don't have a friend that's an agent or a broker to get values, forget about it. But because now you're taking up their time. It's like, hey, can you tell me what this property would be worth? Man, I don't know you like that. Stop calling me 50 times a week asking me to do this work for you. Figure out how to do it for yourself. Eventually, that's what they're going to tell you. So don't take advantage of them that way, right? So to get back to this, and a person that commented, if you could, I'm going to ask you a question and please respond back. He said it's just not possible right now, at least. So what's not possible right now? for what they're asking? Are you saying it's not possible to buy, it's not possible to get the deal, or it's not possible to comp it effectively? Oh, hey, Paul, what's going on? All right. So what are you asking, right? What are you wanting to do? Because I promise you this, if you're watching this right now, everybody that's watching this now knows that I'm talking a lot today about a specific strategy, and that strategy is creative financing. All of these deals, every possible way it's possible. Every deal is a possibility. It doesn't have to be a cash deal. It can be a creative finance deal. It's just a different exit strategy, okay? When interest rates are up like this, values are up like this, these are the perfect time. This is the perfect storm to get, not asking, just saying what prices. Okay, this is the response here. Not asking, just saying what prices, what were, are not the same is all. Yeah, 1,000%. They are not the same. So you have to be able to maneuver and work within the system, right? Would you agree with me if I said to you, listen, there's always the same amount of money in the markets, right? Does money disappear when the market goes down? No, it's just displaced. It's going from here to here. Somebody got that money, and this is a reset. It's the same in the stock market. Every market is this way. The money isn't gone, it's just displaced. And once you really get a firm grasp on, economic conditions, and so you can say to yourself, all right, what does it mean when inflation is high? What does it mean when they talk about GDP was up 2.7%? How does that play into this money that we need that we don't seem to have? Why is everything so expensive? Why does it cost me $10 for 4 sticks of butter? Why does it cost me $8 for a dozen eggs? It's insane, right? I mean, it's insane. That has everything to do with inflation. It's not that the goods are in short supply. It's that money is too abundant. It doesn't have the same value when they print it. Everybody was very, very happy when they got their stimulus checks, right? Some people did what they were supposed to do and put it towards their bills. Other people went out and bought TVs, okay, and had barbecues and did whatever they did, right? But that money that the government sent people was just printed, literally just printed. It devalued the currency. It devalues the currency. And in order for that to go back up, they got to rake the money in. In order to rake the money back in, you have to have all these levers in place. Interest rates have to go up. Things have to be more expensive so they can pull it back in. Then prices will go back down slowly. Generally takes a couple of years. Prices will go back down, and then things will be back to whatever we think normal is. Real estate is the exact same way. Money got really cheap. Interest rates went up. Inflation, right? This is inflation in the markets. It's going to be a couple of years before it comes back down and settles to a place where there is that level of normalcy that Paul is talking about. It's going to take a couple of years. Well, in that time, yes, your cash buyer list is going to be small. Your ability to find an abundance of cash deals, fix and flip opportunities that absolutely make sense, it's not going away. It's just smaller until people get into really rough situations, or they realize, hey, this is the way it is. I can't afford to hold this anymore. I got to get it sold. That is going to happen. But there's always the creative financing side. And no matter what you're doing, whether you're wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip, whatever it is you're doing from a creative financing standpoint or whatever, comping your deals is going to be paramount. You got to know what they're worth, especially if you're not going to use a lender. Let's say you're making these numbers on creative finance deals, or you're coming up with valuations, I should say, on creative finance deals. That's great. But if your numbers are off, you're stuck with that property for whatever the term, whatever the duration that you have agreed to take over this property. And it might be a decade before the value reaches the point where you can sell it at even a break even if you do not know how to comp your properties, right? So if there's anyone out there that has a property that they're looking at right now, a deal that they're working on right now, that they're not really clear, you're not really clear about the valuation. The reason I'm having this conversation is because all week long, I've been having this conversation with the people that I'm training, the people that I'm working with, because they don't know, you know, like, how do you do that when they're sending me stuff and saying, okay, hey, listen, here's a deal that we got, and myself or my team is looking at these things. We're like, okay, no, this isn't a good value. I see what you did, but you got to remember where we are in the cycle. Remember, because we talk about this. Take 10% off. Take 15% off. Sometimes you don't even know what to take off. That's why I gave you the how to. You go look at stuff 12 months ago, see what they were selling for then, and then come and look at what things sold for in the last 90 days. Whatever that price difference is, let's say, you know, 270, it was 300 then, it's 270 now. We know it's 10%. We know that that's 10%, right? If it was, you know, 250, 255, we know now that that's roughly 15%. So that's a difference. It's an easy way to do it. And I'm going to show you how to do that for free on Zillow. And I've got a property that I'm looking at. We're picking up right now. We're waiting on the contract to come back in right now. But I want to show you this house, and I want to show you why you can't always count on Zillow. You know, you're going to get as much information from Zillow as you can, but you can't always count on Zillow. So you need to have something. Jeff, you are more than welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for participating. Thank you for being active. All right. So if you've got a deal, come on, shoot it on through. Who are you? Who says I do? I don't know who said I do. I can't see the name. I'm sorry. So I want to go and show you this deal. Let me see here. I'm gonna share my screen. I just have to remember how to share my screen. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that one for now. All right, so here's a property that we're looking at. So my team, I'm saying I do to buying multiple. Okay, cool. So my team set up this appointment for me. I'm talking to the owner of the property, and you know, they give me the information that they immediately have access to, right? And so in this information, I mean, it's a really nice house, but here it says it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1,100 square feet. This is why you absolutely want to and need to, let me get back here. There we go. This is why you want to and need to look at multiple sources. This property is actually a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. You'll see here where Zillow says that the property is worth $227,400, right? It says all these things here. And now we know, since I know now that it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, they're comping it as a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to go into all this information. I don't want to look at what's for sale right now. I want to look at what's sold, right? I'm going to look at price ranges. I know that Zillow is telling me 227. So I'm just going to go from 200 and let's say I want to go up to 400 just to see what's there, right? I just want to see what's there. Okay, in my bedroom and bathroom, I'm going to do a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It'll apply there. I want to make sure that I'm just doing, so I'm going to deselect all that. I just want houses, right? Because here we have a brick house. We're going to get to that in just a second. I don't care about any of this stuff. I am concerned with square footage. So I'm going to look, I'm going to keep it really tight and look a little bit below, you know, and a little bit above because I've got room to move around there. All right. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Sold in the last. I want to look in the last 90 days. Let's see what's sold in the last 90 days. So it doesn't look like much has sold in the last 90 days. So we'll zoom out a bit. Not much is sold. So we'll go back up here. Go here. Let's look in the last 6 months. And so we don't have a lot of activity over here. All right, let's see. So we've got a few sales up here, but they don't really say much, but those are way outside. So let's go back and look for properties that are for sale in this area. And now we're seeing some activity. And so here's another caveat that I might not have mentioned before. Well, I know I didn't mention it before. When you're dealing with appraisers, if an appraiser is looking at a deal like this where there's nothing, of course the next step is they're going to go and they're going to look at 12 months. And then they're going to come back and they're going to look at what is for sale, right? There are appraisers right now that are putting pendings on appraisals because in some areas we have these, these dead zones. There's nothing there, right? So they'll take a pending, not a listing, because a listing is like a what if. What if we get this much? We don't know what we're getting. And even with a pending, we don't actually know what it's pending for. They could have asked 300 and accepted 270. We literally don't know that. But when they're in a jam, they're doing this. This is what they're doing. So, all right, when we go down here and we get in the general area of the property, look, we see a 3-2 for 287 that's on the market right now. It's probably been on the market for a while as well, right? Let's just take a peek. So they just did a $1,000 price reduction, which really doesn't do much of anything for anybody. It's only been on the market for 60 days. Once it gets to about 90 days, 100 days, 120 days, now you're going to really, you really have motivated people in those situations there, right? So this looks to be a renovated house. It's all the way renovated to some extent. And this is an area where you're going to see a lot. I mean, it's not super spectacular, right? But it's nice. It's a nice looking place, right? So 287, 60 days, that's what that is. Here's one that's really kind of interesting. Here's another 3-2 for 375. 1,100 square feet, just like our property, right? This house is for sale. It has, let's see, maybe I'm going too fast here. It doesn't really say how long it's been on the market, or at least how many days it's been on Zillow. But, we can find that information out in other places. But nonetheless, it's here, right? Let's see. A listing updated in October 10th. So November, December, January, there's our 90, 91 days right there, plus 20 days there. It's been on the market for 110 days. It is absolutely overpriced, okay? But I'm showing you this, like here's another one at 250, that's 1,000 square feet. And most of them have probably been on the market for quite some while. Now, in this particular case, now this is new construction. So in this particular case, what I'm gonna do with the house that I want, right? Here, let's see if we can go back. Maybe not, maybe not. No, it won't let me go back, which is cool. But what I want to do with this house, well, what I am doing, I should say, with this house is I'm taking it over owner financing. In fact, we're doing a bit of a hybrid on this, which is really, really interesting. The man owns it free and clear. We made him an offer at 220. He accepted the offer at 220. He, again, owns it free and clear. We will generally come in and put 10% down. In this case, he was like, listen, I'm moving out of the country, and I really need to get this thing sold by the end of the month. And I can work with you, but I'm going to need $100,000. So what we're doing is we raised $100,000 privately. Okay, we're going to pay them a certain percentage for that, and then he's taking a seller second for the other $120,000. We're just working out how long that's going to be. Probably going to be for us. He wants 2 years, we want 3. Either way, it really doesn't matter. But in 2 years, the market will have shifted. Now, let me just give you the idea of what I'm doing. Having looked at those numbers, we know where the market used to be. People are pricing their homes today where the market was. 275. Say it again, doing a wrap. Nope, it's not a wrap. It's not a wrap. So we're borrowing money from our investor pool, $100,000. That's going to take first position. We still owe him $120,000. Now we've agreed on a rate. We've agreed on a rate of 5%. We just haven't agreed on the term yet. So he's going to get 5% over, 2 or 3 years. We're either going to do simple interest or we're going to amortize it over a 30-year period. We want to do what gives us, the best, keeps as much cash in our pocket as possible. But at 220, when the market turns back around, we've got a house that's valued at 275 to 300,000. By just comparing it to other like houses. I didn't go all the way in. Like, that's a brick house. So you want to compare it to brick houses, right? We don't have time for me to go and look up all the brick houses that sold or are for sale or are pending, but you need it to be the same, right? There will be, in this case, we have a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So we're going to have to, when it's time, if we don't add a bathroom, we're going to have to deduct probably about $20,000. So if we see a house that's like this one for $295, right? Or $287, $290, right? It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, similar square footage, but we have a 3-1. So if we don't spend the money to add the bathroom, we're going to have to take a deduction, and that is going to be somewhere around $20,000, right? So it won't be worth $290, it'll be worth $270. But that's fine for me. That's perfectly okay for me because I got it at $220. So if I lease option it to someone or do a wraparound mortgage, because that's what my preferred exit strategy is, that and short-term rentals. I don't like to be a landlord. So I'm going to wrap these mortgages around a new one at $270,000. And, excuse me. Whew. Bless, bless, bless. So I'm going to wrap the new mortgage around the old 2 mortgages that are in my name and charge this person whatever percentage I'm going to charge them. Obviously, it's going to be above and beyond the 5% we're paying. They're probably, thank you very much. Thank you for the bless you. Thank you for the bless you. But more than likely, their interest rate is going to be somewhere between 8 and 9%, right? And I'll do an AM over 30 so I can break it down. And then they're going to have a high payment. Depending on how we structure that, we're going to be paying somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,300, $1,400. With taxes and insurance will be somewhere around $1,800. But we're going to get anywhere between $3,000 and $3,300 a month on an owner financing situation. So one of our kickers, I'll just throw it out there for you, is that let's say their payment was $3,000 a month. We're going to charge them $3,300, maybe $3,250. And we'll tell them, hey, $300 or $250 of this, of every payment is going to go towards your down payment in the future. And we'll probably get $20,000 or $25,000 down on that property, which is great. It puts more cash in our pocket to do more deals. And then when time is up, we're not digging into our, let's say this person did a 3-year deal with us and then they got approved. We're not digging into our pocket. So $2,500 over 3 years is what? That's $9,000 over 3 years. We're not literally digging into our pocket and pulling out $9,000 that they've given us. It comes off the equity, right? So if we sold it at $270 and they gave us $20,000 down, they're now at $250. And over the course of 3 years, they're now going to get that $9,000, but it's coming off of that. So $250 comes down to $241 because we can tell the owner, the lender, the new lender, hey, these are monies that we received on their behalf. And it's documented. Here you go. And by the way, we use a servicing company to do all of this documentation for us to show that they've made their payments. That's the best way to do it for a multitude of reasons, right? So Zillow, that's how you comp on Zillow. You want to go 90 days, look at what's around. 6 months, look at what's around. Then you bump it up to 12 if it's a little too difficult, like this one was. Because that's what my people were seeing. They weren't seeing those 270s. They just went off the Zestimate, and you cannot do that. In fact, I have a whole training with those team members tomorrow at noon. So we can just kind of go over some of that stuff because, listen, these valuations, and this was good for us, but what happens if it was the other way around, right? What if the Zestimate came in and said 275 and this guy was kind of stuck somewhere around there, and I'm looking at it and saying there's no way that 275 is the number. It's got to be significantly lower. That's how you make these things happen. Now, I want to take that same situation and I'm going to share my screen with you again. And now I want to show you about batch leads and what we can do there, right? And there's different things that people use, but this is something that I like to use. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy using this. And so let me show you how we look at it here, okay? Before we go there, you'll see here where it still says it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So I had to have this conversation with the owner of the property. He did the renovations. He did have it permitted. He's got the plans when he went in and did everything. It is now gray. It's not red. So he did all these renovations just a few months ago. So it just hasn't updated in these records. He's owned this property for over 15 years. It was a rental property for him for all of those years. He is a real estate investor as well. So this is what it looks like for him. Here's where they say estimated value is 276. Now, when we did our pre-work, so when you look at this at 276 and then you look at Zillow at 227, what's the disconnect? How is there a $49,000 disconnect, right? Do you use Craigslist at all? Yes, I do. I use Craigslist for a lot of different things. I use it to look for buyers. I use Facebook to look for buyers. Just all kind of different things. But I'm going to show you a trick here in batch leads too, since we're talking about buyers. But I'm not just, we're talking about cash. When I'm on Craigslist, I'm looking for not just cash buyers, but I'm looking for people that are looking to do creative financing deals, that are looking to live in a house. They've got the money, but they don't have the credit to qualify for a loan. So I'm looking for those people all the time, right? Okay, so there's our property details. It even tells us the owner of the property. Once you skip trace it, all the telephone numbers, email address, all that stuff's going to be there. You're getting basically the legal description of the property characteristics, all that great stuff, right? It tells us all kind of stuff. Look, we can go here to sales and loan. Now they don't have a loan, but it tells us when he bought it, right? Right down here. It tells us when he bought the property, right? We can get the tax information. We know what the property taxes for the year were, $6,400 in that year, right? So you got the parcel ID, you've got all these different things that you have in there. If he had it listed, which he did, he had it listed before he did the renovations at $255 last year, but he took it down because he wasn't getting the offer. So he went and renovated it and wanted to get that situation. It also tells us that there are liens on these properties. This is one of the reasons that he had to have the $100,000. So we can go down here and we can see who these liens are, right? This contracted party is Cynthia Chang. So we would reach out to Cynthia Chang, and she just filed that last month. Say, okay, and that could be something very similar. It doesn't mean anything negative. Cynthia could have been his lender for the renovations, and she just put a lien on the property to make sure she got her money. It could be very simple like that. It doesn't mean that something negative happened, but one never knows. You just never know. So it's always part of a conversation. So let's go over here to comparables. So we're going to go here, and we have all these different things. Sold in the last 12 months. We can change that to sold in the last 90 days. Built within the last 10 years. Or we can change that to say built in the last 20 years. You could say ignore the bedrooms, ignore the bathrooms. We don't want to do that. We want 3 bedrooms. We want, 1 bathroom. We have a 20% range, plus or minus of square footage, which is great. That's perfect. We can look at, our house is a little over 1,100 square feet, so we can look at things 1,300 square feet. It's not that far off, right? But There's going to be located within a mile. I like to keep it short if I can. But the point is, you have all these different categories that are right there that you can pick and set the filters, and you can reset it and clear it. And it'll tell you right here, we've got 27 nearby properties. 9 of them were cash transactions. This tells you everything, right? And I'm going to get into a lot of this here in a second. 9 of these properties were cash transactions. People paid cash for them. 6 of them are free and clear. 21 of them are finance properties, meaning that there is an actual loan on it. 11 of them are corporately owned. 7 of them are owner occupied. 20 of them are absentee owners. They're rental properties, right? So there's 27 in that area, right? So we can scroll over here. We're at the back end of it, right? So we're just going to look at the first 10 here. So this is when they got it. They paid $2,300 for it. Okay, so here's a sale last year at $100,000. Here's one in August that was smaller, 990 square feet, a smaller lot even, right? $320,000, $319,000. Here's another one that sold in June that was smaller for $223,000. Here's $268,000. There's $458,000. $275,000. And we can go to these other pages and kind of see the same thing. And you start to see the comps you want to use. Now let me ask you again. When we're seeing these numbers, these are numbers for houses that sold within the last 6 months, okay? Just the last 6 months. So when the market turns around, we have a property that could realistically be really close to $300,000. Really close, looking at some of these comparables. $318,000 for a 912 square foot house. It's also a 2-bedroom. Well, it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It could be the same kind of situation. One never knows. Maybe they did a renovation and added that extra bedroom or extra bathroom. They could have done that. That's what this gentleman did. So we're looking here and we know that these values are real. So the valuation on Zillow made no sense. But that's where most people, that's where I'm sure where he went, to look at our seller, where he went to go look at the comps. But as you can see right here, there is an enormous amount of upside for us in the future. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever our exit strategy is, we're going to have a significant amount of equity, And that's what we really want to look for. Now, I just want to show you something. Let me get out of here and show you something. Let's say you're doing your thing here in that city. There's a little thing, I think I'm blocking it. Let me see if I can move myself out of the way. Okay. There's a thing down here in the bottom left corner called quick filters, right? So I've just run a little, some comps over here. I'm going to get rid of this house altogether. Let me just pull back because I was just looking at just that one house. All right. So let's just say we're in that zip code. 77. Oh, I didn't even see it. Let me go back. 77020. 77020. So let's say we're just looking in that zip code. We're going to go back to our quick filters. Now, has anybody ever that's watching this, have you had a difficult time finding buyers for your deals if you got good deals? Some of you have. And I know that a lot of people, that's a big question they have. It's one of the top 3, how do I find the money? How do I find the deals? How do I find buyers? And I tell people it's easy. There's buyers absolutely everywhere. You can find them everywhere. I mean, you can literally just post stuff on Facebook and, people will eventually find you, right? You'll develop those relationships. But I just want to show you when we do those, we've got cash buyers right here. Boom. 3,371. These are people that you can reach out to because they're cash buyers in that zip code. We're looking only in that zip code, buyers for that particular zip code. there are cash buyers right there in that zip code. You know, we can click it and we can see what properties on the right-hand side that they have, right? We can narrow this down. We can go into filters and say, we're only looking for cash buyers since we've selected that. Look, I'll just give you an example. We'll just hit filters here. We're looking for a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a minimum of, let's say, 2 bathrooms, a minimum of 1,100 square feet. Let's see, year built, we'll do a maximum year built of 20 years, let's say 2000. Okay, we'll just go down. I mean, we can look up almost anything. We can do valuation and equity. You know, we could say, okay, estimated value. We can go, you know, 350,000. You can do an equity percentage. You can look at whatever you want to look at. You can go to demographics, you know, is it male or female, age range owned. And there is a time when you're pulling certain kind of lists that you want to go through, you know, an age range, things like that. Is the house an owner occupied or not? Length of time in there, net worth, because it'll show you what the people are actually, you know, it's not 100% accurate, but if they have other real estate, it'll tell you. You know, look here, it's just amazing. You know, are they pet owners? Are they a single parent? What's their marital status? Are they a millionaire or not? Do they smoke? I mean, you can get really granular, really granular, but we'll just keep it simple. And we just apply those few filters, and our 3,371 now goes down to 1,252 because we were only looking for properties that were at least a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, at least 1,100 square feet, and worth no more than $350,000. And that's what we get. So that's 1,252 houses. We don't know how many people, but we could skip trace all of those, call those people, and put them on our cash buyers list. All we got to do is just reach out to them. They're right there. And they're buying specifically in the zip code that you're looking at, right? So these are real things. What does the software cost monthly? Great question. Pardon me, I just had to have a little water there. I was a little parched. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation after this. And I have a link that will save you some money, and it will give you 5,000 free leads, actually. So, you know, we can go from there, and I'll share that information with you, okay? I don't know who you are, but I will find out when it's time after this is over, and I will message you, and we will have a conversation about it. And I'll show you how to do it. But once it does kick in, it depends on how many people you want to have. Like our entire team is using batch leads and batch dialer, because there's also a dialing system, and they're the same company, so they obviously integrate with one another, and it just makes life easy, right? I have one place where I can go and do absolutely everything, and this is not a commercial for batch leads, but I use it, and my whole team uses it every single day. Will link be there? Thanks. Yeah, I'll definitely send that to you for sure. But my team uses it absolutely every day, and we have such a plethora of information and knowledge at our fingertips because of it. You can run SMS text campaigns out of it. Boss, was Shannon Hudson? Huh? Say what? I don't know. You can run text campaigns on it. You can run direct mail campaigns on it. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. There's a built-in CRM on the dialer side asking about the software costs. So, all right, let me just be simple. So if you just got batch leads, it's just you, it's going to be somewhere around $90, $89 a month, $90 a month. And then you pay for your skip tracing on top of that. But all your leads are free. They're all there, batch leads, right? You just pull the leads you want anywhere in the country and rock out, you know. It's going to cost like 12 or 13 cents a lead to skip trace. And they have a really cool feature in there where if you skip trace someone and they're already there, it shows you how many matches, and it doesn't charge you again. So you already had that person, you save 12 cents. I paid 12 cents. When I ran this one here, there were 82 people on that list that we had already had in our database. and we saved almost $10 on that run. Now, why is this important? This is important because people wind up being on multiple lists. And then the more lists that they're on, the better it is for you, the more motivation that they have to sell, right? So like you'll see here where a lot of these people are on, this person's on 3 lists. Oh, you're not seeing that, my bad. Let me go back over here. So this is what that looks like. So you get back over here, and this is where you have my lists, and then you look and you say, all right, we've got all these people that are on 1. This person's on 3. When they get to be on 3 and 4 lists, you want to call these people because they've got some motivation. And I don't even know how many in there, so I'm not going to waste your time going through it. I'm just showing you how this system does they do the list stacking for you, and then you can filter it out and say, all right, I want to have people that are on 3 lists or more, and then it's only going to give you them, and you can run a special campaign just for them, right? Those are people that again have huge motivation, and they're in trouble somewhere. If they're on 3 or 4 lists, they got some problems going on, and that's what that is. So about $89 there, and then about 12 cents, 13 cents to skip trace it, however many leads. But you want to be granular, so we give you some training. If you come with us anyway, if you're working with us, we're going to give you training on how to use the software. Batch Leads has a lot of training as well. We show you what we do today, what's working for us today. And then Batch Leads, or Batch Dialer, is also $89 a month. And you buy your telephone numbers from them. Those are $4 a month as well. And there's no more to skip trace. You just simply export from Batch Leads, import your list into Batch Dialer. It has a dialer system. If you want a multi-dialer system, meaning if you want to call 5, 7, 10 people at a time, which does save a lot of time, you burn through your list pretty quick, but you rehash your list anyway. But it gives your callers, if you've got VAs, and by the way, if you need some VAs that are qualified, reach out to me. We have got an excellent program that we're working with to help you out. And as you know, I'm always talking about having VAs. Teach your VAs how to do this. It takes a lot of pressure off of you. Maybe depending on how you structure your business, you have your VA maybe calling for, 4 or 5 hours a day, and then they're doing admin work for, 2 or 3 hours a day to help you out so you don't have to do so much. I promise you it is worth its weight in gold, and it allows you to work on the business more so you can build your business, so you can understand it. But you have to understand these things here first. I can't stress it enough. You have to understand these things here first. And if you understand these things here first, it's going to be easy for you to translate this to your staff, to the people that work with you when you hire people. It's going to be easy for you to articulate it when you're explaining it to other people. When you're helping someone else in the future, presumably you will be doing that, which is why I'm giving it to you, because I want you to win. I want you to win. I'm not asking you to send me your deals. I'm telling you how to find deals that you can put out there yourself. I'm telling you how to find cash buyers yourself. I'm telling you how to analyze your deals yourself. I'm not teaching you how to send me deals. Now, if you want to send them, great. We're buying all over the country. But I want you to be able to be an independent recipient of this knowledge and then duplicate it for yourself and then show someone else how to do it. It doesn't get any better than that. You have to be a giver in this world that we're in. You have to be a giver. These tools, these strategies, these techniques that I'm sharing with you are vital. You won't sell a deal if you don't comp it right. It was one of the biggest problems that I had when I started out. Of course, in 2001, 2002, all of these tools did not exist. We had to do old school comping, right? We literally had to look through books and find someone that had MLS and, go down to the county, all of that to comp stuff. That's why if you listen to the old gurus, they'll tell you stay in your area because you need to know that. You know it now, but you need to know that. Thank you, Jason O. Miles. Your guidance has been amazing. let's see here. Oh, this is Mike. I use the diaries and VAs. Perfect. Hey, boss, this will be the week. I will not stop till I get something going. Paul. I know you won't, Paul, and I'm here for you, brother. I am here for you, and you know I'm here for you, man. So, listen, life happens. Things get difficult. We get overwhelmed. So what, right? That's life. That's life, man. I don't mean so what, like just go do, because I mean so what, like, man, it happens, bro. Don't beat yourself up, because life happens to all of us. It happens to all of us, y'all. For those of you that don't know, I take care of my mother. My mother is ill, and sometimes I miss some of the commitments that I have because we have to go to the doctors. If there's an emergency, or we were there longer than we expected to be there, and I miss out on appointments. It's just, it's life, man. And it's scary, it's painful, but it is what it is. And we have to live and we have to deal with it. But when you do have the time, when you carve out that hour, that 30 minutes to be alone, to think about what it is you need to be alone. Listen, for those of you that don't do that, just take 15 minutes out of your day to start with, where you just sit in silence. You're not thinking about anything. Maybe you are. Maybe you're spending that time alone. Maybe, like you go for walks and you spend it alone. But I'm talking about just being alone, being silent for just 15 minutes. See what that does for you. See what it does for you. Once you get up to 30 minutes, because I can tell you when I started, 15 minutes, I would do it in my closet and I would fall over asleep, but it took practice for me to get to 15 minutes. And then ultimately now I'm at 30 minutes. I don't know how those monks can sit there for days on end. That is true dedication, I can tell you. But someone told me this once and I wrote it down and I was thinking of it, and I wanted to say that since I was just talking about this, I use my notes in my phone all the time. I mean, it's the best. Someone told me that all man's problems stem from his inability to just be still. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you're just busy being busy? You're just busy being busy. You're really not getting anything done, but you're running around constantly, but nothing is getting fixed. Nothing is getting solved. You're doing everything you know how to do. But in those moments when that's happening, I'm not saying quit doing things. What I am saying is be still. Calm your mind. Sit still. Look at what's going on around you and pick your lane. You can't do it all. You can't be in all the lanes at the same time, right? You may be able to spend a little time in this one and a little time in that one and a little time in that one. That's fine. But fall back. Be still for a minute. Look at all that's going on around you and say to yourself, what is the best course of action for me right now? And do that, but be still. That's the only way that you're going to get all this stuff. If you sit here and you say to yourself, I'm going to be this person in 3 months, man, this is a lot of work. This is a lot to remember. There are so many different techniques and strategies, and it takes time. It takes practice. It takes mentorship. It takes a village, a community, which is what I'm putting together here. We have to be able to help each other. We have to be able to talk to one another. We have to be able to share with one another how to do it better, how to be more efficient at this thing that we're doing, because there's a lot of people that are just out here, and there's going to be even fewer and fewer of them because it's getting difficult to find deals. But if you're learning these techniques and these strategies right now from me or anyone else that resonates with you, if you're learning these things right now and you're applying these things into your business right now, your life is going to be ridiculously different in 3 months and 6 months. Because with this strategy, when we're talking about creative financing, you're building a pipeline. You're building a pipeline, and then guess what happens? 3 months from now, you have a landslide of deals that are coming. It might be 30 days. It could be 60 days. I'm erring on the side of caution here, and I'm saying 90 days. Because if you're consistent in those 90 days, those deals are going to fall in your lap. They're going to, but you've done it. It's not that they literally fell in your lap. You positioned yourself to get those deals. You followed up with those people. You made sure that you were ready when they were ready, right? I tell people I stay ready because it takes too long to get ready. It does. But this is how you're going to win in this. So I'm going to follow up with everybody on Facebook that left a message. I'm going to make sure I get that link to batch leads out there. If anyone has a desire to get a VA, reach out to me. I can show you how to do this affordably and effectively for your business, whether it's part-time or full-time, doesn't really matter. And if you want to get involved with our educational program, please, by all means, reach out. We're doing this crazy, crazy thing in September where we're just taking 20 people in the group. We're going to go to Belize. It's part of your membership. You know, there's no extra money. We're paying for your lodging. We're paying for your airfare. Now, your alcohol and all that, that's on you. Okay? We've got it catered. So you'll be able to sit there and eat with the group. We've got a great deal of people coming in to share. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about real estate and how to do it better. We're going to talk about asset protection, financial planning, personal development, corporate structure and corporate development for those of you that are growing your business or maybe going into other areas. This is all for you. It's all for you to be successful. And we're going to go to Belize. We're going to get away from America for a week. We're going to get away for a week. And it's covered. I'm paying for you to get there. I'm paying for your lodging, and I'm having it catered. You just got to pay for your liquor and any extracurricular activities that are going on out there, okay? But we're going to have fun, and we're going to have fellowship. This is real life. These are people, like-minded people from all around the country that you're going to be hanging out with, people that you'll probably wind up doing business with one way or another. We're going to talk about raising private money, which we always talk about now, but I'm not going to get on that tangent. If that's something that you want to talk about, there's a link in the description where you can just go in there, look at the little tutorial that I've created for you, hit a button, get a time where we can talk, and I'll be there for you. We will have a conversation about what that looks like and how I can help you, and I'm here to do that. So between now and then, take in this information, go to YouTube, look at the stuff that I've put up there for you, study. Come in the group, be active, ask your questions, share your deals. If you've got something that you want to say, whatever it is, I'm here for you, and so is the rest of the people. So I really appreciate you guys taking your time, and I am doing Sunday school during the football game on Sunday. This is my business, this is my livelihood, and I'm here to perform for you guys, right? I have to perform. Those guys on TV are performing, and they're getting their check. So for all of you diehard real estate people, I'll be here next Sunday during Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday for me is Sunday school, right? I will be right here for you. For all of you that want to win and really focus a lot on your career, and football's not as important to you as your future, I invite you back. Thank you so very much for your time. I really appreciate you. Share this with someone that you think needs to hear it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? I hope you're feeling great, doing well. I've had a lot of conversations over the past, I'd probably say about the past couple months, 2-3 months, about people wanting to get involved in real estate and asking how they can get involved in real estate given all that's going on with the economy. Well, you either have a lot of time, which means you don't have the money, or you have a lot of money, which means you don't have the time. And they want to know how they can get involved in real estate. Some of them have said, look, man, what do I need to do to just get into a deal, right? I don't really have the time to do all of that. So we've just invested their money in some of the deals that we do. So I'm here to open the invitation to all my friends and family that are watching this right now. If you're interested in getting involved in real estate and you simply don't have a ton of money or you don't have a ton of time, maybe you only have, $5,000, maybe you have $100,000, I don't know. But if you're interested in investing in real estate deals passively, truly passively, just reach out to me. There's no link, this isn't an ad, just DM me and let's have a conversation. We've got deals right now that we can fund. Right now, as of right now, multifamily as well as single family, deals that you can be in as little as 6 months and as much as 2 or 3 years, depends on the scenario and what your particular investment strategy is. All I can say is let's have a conversation. So if you're interested, friends and family, just reach out, let's have a conversation.